Hi, I'm Rob Wootton from Mini Tackle and I'm going to talk you through how to elasticate your pole. Right, so you've bought your brand new pole, you want to know how to elasticate it. There's a few things that you're going to need. You need to get the right size bung for the base of your pole. You can get wide bungs, narrow bungs. It's best to go for one that's slightly too wide for the base of your pole. That way we'll cut it down. To connect the elastic at the other end of your pole, you're going to need an elastic connector. The elastic just gets tied to these, and then it's just a collar system there that enables you to connect your rig to the end of your pole. Also, to stop any wear on the elastic, you need something to protect the elastic against the harshness of the carbon. And we've got here a bush. That's pure PTFE, that slips over the pole and prevents any wear on the elastic. And obviously, you're going to need your elastic. There's a lot of different elastics on the market. There's two general types though. There's your hollow elastic, which has obviously got a hollow centre. This is generally a lot stretchier than normal standard solid elastic. I prefer to use solid elastic. It's a lot easier to set up and it's a lot less fiddly. And that's what I'm going to show you how to use today. A couple of hardware bits that you'll need. An elastic threader. Quite often if the pole's brand new, you can sort of jiggle the elastic down, but if there's a bit of moisture in the pole, you're going to need one of these elastic threaders. And obviously a hacksaw. We're going to be chopping bits off the pole, cutting the bung back. We're going to need a hacksaw. There's the bits. Let's get on with cutting back the pole. First job is to cut the pole tip back to accommodate the little PTFE bush. Now it's important not to cut too much back in one go, else you could ruin the pole and obviously the bush won't fit on the end. What I'm going to do is line up the bush on the pole, work out where it's going to be cut back and just make a little mark with a hacksaw. Now it's just a case of cutting the pole back. Right, I've worked my way down the pole, cutting off a little bit at a time, and that bush now fits on there nice and snugly. That's not coming off. The next job is to cut the bung back so it fits in the base of the pole. To get the bung to fit inside the base of the pole, it's just a simple case of placing the bung inside the pole and making a mark with the hacksaw. This bung's got rings on it. It enables me to get a good line when I'm cutting. And what I'm going to do is go one ring further up and start cutting. It's important to remember this bung has got to fit probably 6 or 8 inches up the base of the pole, so the number 4 section doesn't hit it when we put it in. Let's get cutting. Right, I've cut the bung back. Now it's a case of inserting the extractor rod inside. Just seeing if that's perfect. The bung's probably sitting 8 inches up the pole. What I'm going to do now is thread the elastic through the pole. First of all, I need to attach the elastic to the bung. Thread it through the hole and tie a simple overhand knot in the elastic. Right, I've tied a loop in the end of the elastic, pull it through, and now I'm going to lasso that over the base of the bung and pull it tight. Now that can obviously go, that can't go anywhere. I'm just going to put a couple of winds on the bung end, just so it gives me a little bit of play. Now it's a case of unravelling the rest of the elastic and finding the other end. Like I say, because this is a new pole, I could probably get away with just forcing the elastic down because there's no moisture in the pole, especially on the thicker third section. Right, I've got the elastic out the top of the third section. I'm just going to fit the bung inside. I'm just going to use that to tightly push it up. That just stops the elastic flying around everywhere. I'm going to thread the elastic through the second section. For this I'm going to use the elastic threader because this section's a little bit thinner, and because I've placed the bush on the end, that could cause a little bit of a problem when threading the elastic through. Simply a case of threading the threader through, eye first, down the pole. And what I'm going to do is attach the elastic and lock it in the eye. Now it's a case of pulling the threader, pulling everything through. Now I'm going to place the top kit together. Trim the elastic. I'm going to leave about 6 inch hanging out. Now it's just a simple case of attaching the elastic connector. Take off the sleeve, thread the elastic through, and what we're going to do is tie the same overhand knot that we used at the bung end. Now it's important to moisten it. Pull that tight, you're looking for a really small knot, and just use some scissors to just trim the knot. That collar goes over the top, neatens everything up. Your line will attach to the elastic with a hook system. Tie a loop in the end of your line, hook it over, and then pull this little collar down to lock everything in place. Now you might think that elastic's drooping out a little bit. Because we've got the winder on the base of the bung, we can tighten everything up and set the tension to exact tension that we want. I'm just going to tighten the elastic now so there's not as much drooping out of the pole tip. I'm just going to do this by giving a couple, 3 wraps probably, around the winder, then putting the bung back in. Right, so I've tightened the elastic at the bung end, and now that's how I like to set it. So it does go back in quite positively, but it's not so tight that it's going to bump any fish. That's about perfect, and you can see how simple that was. Really easy way to elasticate your pole, no fuss, no hassle.